My name is B-Walk and welcome back again to Cop Your Coin, where I show you how to cop your coin in the fastest growing market in world history. Let's get it. Again, I'm going to ask you to do three things. I want you to hit the subscribe button. I want you to hit the like button and hit the alert button so that you know when fresh content is coming out for Cop Your Coin. Let's get into it. First point I want to bring up is the Bitcoin price breaks 7,000 after 4% gain. Crypto market adds 12 billion. Now I posted about this in my Instagram channel. Again, that is at Cop Your Coin on Instagram.com. However, I wanted to do a little bit more research to kind of give you an idea of my insight of kind of what to be looking for next. This article talks a little bit about the whys and wherefores. However, as we can see on my chart, again, and what I want you to pay attention to specifically is this green trend line right here, as well as this purple line down here at the bottom. And as you can see, Bitcoin prices, and this is as Bitcoin to the US dollar, as told by Bitfinex. As you see that the coins have been bouncing, and it bounced right here, holding this 66,000 level basically. And we were able to get past this 6,800 level, which is this second purple line right here. Now, what's going to be interesting is to see where we're able to do. Are we going to be able to get past this trend line? Now, this blue line is the 200-day moving average. This is a daily chart. So what I'm going to see is we're going to see a convergence of the price of Bitcoin as well as this 200-day moving average, as well as this trend line, and see what happens. Typically, you're going to have it bounce off of here, but the question will be, will it be able to bounce and break through, or will it bounce and head back down to the level? I don't know. Time will tell. That brings me to my next point, actually. So Bitcoin has made this move actually without any particular news, and I spoke about that or talked about that on Instagram. But that's only part of the picture. When you're trading in markets, when you're investing in markets, typically what you'll see is price action, which is demonstrated here, but also news, okay, which comes across here, and you have other news items that come out. What I want to stress to you about news and about investment is it behooves you, it is advantageous for you to understand what is the general market doing, as well as what is your particular investments doing. So in my case, I look at ADA, I look at Ethereum, I look at EOS, I look at a number of coins that I have invested in and see particular information on those particular coins, as well as how that lays out against the great picture of cryptocurrency, and then even have the bigger picture of the financial markets as a whole. And that kind of gives me a sense of kind of where we are, what to be expecting, what price moves to be anticipating. So it's important that you stick with it, that you don't have to check this every minute of the day, of course. But I would say if you've got money invested in this, I would at least check it one time a day, if not once a week, but definitely one time a day. Personally, I like to be abreast on what's happening and what's coming up, because as you'll see, markets have reasons for moving, and it's not always irrational. A lot of times you'll see news events that come out, and the markets will move to that news event in anticipation of that news event, or even afterwards that news event. But it will move circumstantial to that news event. So another one that I posted earlier this morning was Coinbase shows 18% of the US students now own cryptocurrency. This is not surprising to me at all, because this is the future. What we have going on, everybody knows people that are buying things on Amazon, that are making payments, and they're using credit cards, using some type of form that's other than cash. And using the internet, with the advent of the internet, we've been moving further and further away from hard dollars and paper money and more into a digital type of currency. Now, obviously, cryptocurrency is on the extreme, is on that pushing the edge of the envelope. However, this is something that's going to be moving down forward. I'm not surprised at this at all. It reminds me back when I was in school, back at the time when the internet was just starting to take off. That was in the late 90s. And students were excited about that. We knew all about it. We were getting into it. I went into IT, as a matter of fact, information technology. And we were all about websites, and everybody and their mother was putting out a business online. And that's kind of what you've had here of the last year and a half of cryptocurrency. Once Bitcoin exploded, Everybody wants to say, well, we've got a legitimate use case for cryptocurrency. You may or may not. There's a lot of them out here that say, oh, we've got a legitimate use, but they don't really. So there's going to be a lot that are going to fall, just like it was in the internet boom. However, the wise people and the people in the know are going to know ahead of time, just by paying attention. There's not going to be any crystal balls. It's just going to be reading the tea leaves of the news. And one of the greatest news sources that we have is the internet. So as you can look here, they surveyed a nationwide survey of 675 students. And according to the survey, 21 of the top 50 U.S. universities, as ranked by U.S. News and World Report. So this is a pretty extensive survey, and it says while 34% of computer science and engineering majors indicated interest in learning about the nascent technology, 47% of social science majors are interested in the same, according to the survey. So it's not just the technical nerds, engineers, IT people, it's everybody getting involved across the spectrum. And that's not surprising, like I said, at all to me when you talk about students. They are ahead of the curve, and this is where the world is going to be moving to in the next 10 to 20 years. So it behoove us as adults, as young adults, as Generation Xers, as baby boomers, my people who came before me, to be paying attention to what the means of technology and how that is being expressed today and in our school system. As you see increasing interest, and they talk about universities like Cornell, Stanford, Georgetown are beefing up their blockchain research opportunities to accommodate swells and curiosity. But it's not just the Ivy Leagues. You have other opportunities that are happening, like Howard University, a historically African American college, and the Women's Liberal Arts School, Smith College, are two notable additions to McGrath's recruitment plan. So I'm not going to read this whole article, obviously. You got a chance to look at it. It's CoinDesk. And again, I always put the where my references are. I put them in the description so you can take a look at any time. But this is an example of being abreast in the news. This just came out today. The last one I want to leave you with is the article that says Bitcoin is cool, St. Louis Federal Reserve. Now, that is counterintuitive to what you would think a central bank would be saying. And in fact, there are a couple of central banks that have been out against cryptocurrency because that is a way of control. The way the Federal Reserve works, they're able to initiate monetary policy and, in a sense, control inflation and deflation in the economy across the country and really across the world. The central banks that are across the world. So I've read plenty of books that say that they are not interested in ceding that control anytime soon, and I would agree with that. However, what I will say though is that you will see pockets of people they'll recognize that there is a use case for this, and in fact that there are real world examples where this becomes a useful tool. And as cryptocurrency matures, as that market matures, it's going to be undeniable. There are going to be cases where you're not going to be able to do a transaction but for cryptocurrency. So this is one of the economist Charles Kahn basically argues that beyond their attractiveness for illegal transactions, private payments serve important legitimate functions in any monetary system, namely protection from malfeasance or negligence by counterparties or by the payment systems provider itself. So as we kind of look at here, and it kind of goes down to saying that the legitimacy of what Bitcoin and a larger part of the cryptocurrency space provides, that the public won't trust digital cash issued by the government, and I think that goes without saying. No one's going to believe, as he says right here, to believe that the CIA has imprinted paper currency with the technology enabling it to report hand-to-hand transactions is paranoia. To believe that spy agencies have backdoors to common computer programs is last week's news. Generating trust in the privacy promises of a public payments authority, new electronic money will be an extremely tall order. However, I do think that it is one that is going to be met. So it's just a matter of time. However, anyway, so my question to you is, with the advent of cryptocurrency, and you might see it with your friends and see it with your family, relatives, people are asking that question. Do you think that there's an opportunity for investment for you? And if so, how are you going to get invested? Are you going to wait for an ETF, or are you going to do something about it today? All right. And we'll see you next time on Cop Your Coin. Take care.